It's your boy DJ Pup Dawg live from Boston's Dunkin Music Lounge. Make some noise for Ali Siddiq, everybody. This is a nice special treat, man. This guy's on tour, bro. You are on tour right now. I got a story to tell, and you definitely have a story to tell because this is more than a 6-month tour, man. That's more than half the year.
Yes.
I think it's 7 months.
It's like 100 shows, and I thought I was further along until they told me we was at show 28. I was like, what? And I was like, no, it had to be like 40. You're like, no, 28.
Wow.
I was sick. It's like 100 of these things.
Dude, to think about half the year, more than half the year of just traveling and doing, I got a story to tell. Like, even just the start of that, like, what was that like going, bro, I'm going to be gone for 7 months?
Just think about it. I'm 50. I've been doing stand-up for 26 years.
Okay.
So over half my life, I've been doing shows and been on the road. So this is different. It's a theater tour, and I would do more shows in the club.
Right.
I would be doing like 10 shows or 15 shows in a week. So now it's just one and done, and then go to the next city.
Right.
But it's way more exhausting. It's crazy. I don't even know how that even mapped out, but then I figured it out.
Right.
So a theater, a club stage is about this size.
Okay.
A theater stage is like half of a football field. So I'm walking back and forth. So I'm doing like 8 miles on stage.
What?
This is like a walk in the park, but 8. I'm going back and forth, and like it's crazy.
Yo, man, it's really impressive to watch. And, you've been doing your thing for a minute. Like you said, you've been on the road for a while. What is what's some fun cities that you have after your tour or after your show? Because the show is the same, right? In every city. Not every city.
No way.
98% of it?
Not even close.
Really? You switch it up every show?
Every show.
Oh, schmack.
Yeah, when people used to come see me in the club, they would buy tickets for both nights. If I was there at a 7 and a 8, I mean 7 and a 10, they would buy tickets for both because they knew I wasn't gonna do the same set.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's never. I don't feel the same way that I feel at 7 o'clock that I feel at 10 o'clock. That show is totally different. It's like, yeah. So now I'm getting ready to I'm on special number 4. I'm getting ready to drop Domino Effect 4.
Yep.
So people would say to me, "Oh, I didn't want to watch 3 or I didn't want to watch 2 because you were coming to town." I was like, "What does that have to do with the show?"
Exactly.
Because I'm not doing the stuff that I'm doing on the special. I'm not even doing the stuff I did last night. So I'm getting ready to do 2 more specials. So I'm in a cross between my 2 sons and I'm Not Handy. So it depends on how I feel when I get there tonight, which one I'm gonna do or which portion I'm gonna do, and then it's things that happen to me. Like this is the first time I'm on the road with actually no road management. Like I don't have my road managers, neither one, and my normal opener's not here. So I'm very off kilter right now. So when I get to the show, I'm gonna talk about that for the next 10 minutes. I had to wake myself up to come here. That was crazy. I was like, what? I'm waking myself up. I was talking about alarm. Used to somebody knock on the door. Hey man,
yeah,
time to go. I'm like, I was dragging. I'm like, I don't even know if I had on the right clothes. I was like, this is a weird day.
So why the switch up on this tour to do it like that? Especially since you got 100. Don't you need a runner with you? Because even when you walked in, I was like, I should be talking to your guy to tell him or your girl to be like, hey, we're going over here next.
They had things. They had things to do. I couldn't believe it.
You got 100 shows.
How do you got things to do when we come into Boston?
Right?
You didn't have nothing to do when we was in Shreveport, and you had something to do when we was in Boston. I'm like, okay. Wow.
Oh man!
I'm here total by myself.
So every show is a different show. That's impressive. That's even more impressive to hear that. All right. So now I saw that in December when you did start, you did have a 2-week holiday, kind of like you took a little break at that time to be probably with family, maybe.
No, I took a break to get away from them too. I was like, I don't want to talk to them either. Man, them people. Look, people love me on the road. I don't have no respect in my house. Nobody respect me in my house. This is crazy. Like, man, you talk about no respect? Go to my house. Watch me walk in and don't nobody even speak.
I was gonna say you have to be on at all times with them too.
No, because that's the thing. I'm not that type of comedian. I'm not on all the time.
Okay.
Once I'm off stage, I'm done. The meet and greet is tight. They like, Ali, are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. I'm not on no more. It's over.
Man, all right, okay. So now with all these shows being different, sometimes you're if you don't know you personally, you might say something that didn't come off the way you meant it. But if you know you, all the time. Do you get nervous about that? About what the internet might do to you after the fact?
Man, no. I've been trust and believe, they've tried. They've tried. They've twisted a lot of my words, and I don't care. I'm grown, and somebody asks me about something, I'll just tell you how I feel about it. And then most of the time, fans say something. That's the biggest part of the most helpful part of my career. That my fans stand up for me. They were like, he didn't mean it like that.
Right.
He didn't even say it like that. Y'all trying to mince his words, because everybody know I've never been. You gotta look at my track record. That's the whole thing. Somebody who's been with me for the last 10 years, they're like, nah, I said a lot of things. I got on the radio one time and said I couldn't stand Indian people. And people was like, what?
Done, I'm out of here.
And so many Indian people called like, no, we know this thing. We know this thing that he's about to say. And it's because it's about space. It wasn't even that, like, Indian people don't have no respect for space.
I'm giving you space right now. I'm good, right?
Yo, just because you have to. They set these chairs like that. And then I said, no. they were so mad. And then when they said it, the phone, I said on the radio.
Okay.
And the phone lines blew up. And Indian people was calling, why you doing like? And I said, okay, let me clear it up. Yeah. It's not that I don't like Indian people. I don't like some things that y'all do. Okay. You don't have no respect for space. And then I said, first of all, why so many Indian people up in the morning listening to the hip hop station? First of all, let's get that out the way. And so it's and then I said, I had to apologize because I went to India, and then I understand why you don't have no respect for space. This is the only place I've ever been in a country that it was padded. The bus was padded with people. He was people on the side of the bus. I'm like, y'all don't want to come in, but there was no space. And then I do the story about this guy named Simi.
Okay.
It was literally just like this. So me and my cousin, we standing just like this.
Okay.
And this guy named Simi comes in and says, look, it's more space. Simi, come over here. There's more. I'm like, there's no more space, Simi. I've said a lot of things.
You would think that if you came from India with no space and you actually had space, you would
use it,
right?
You went in the grocery store. This is how y'all be in the grocery store.
This is how y'all be in the grocery store.
And I tried to scoot up, and I was like, okay, maybe they pushing people. And I tried to scoot up, and he scooted up with me. I'm like, and I said, I want to see how deep this is gonna go. I didn't go straight. I went to the side, and he came right behind. I was like, yo, stop following me around this store. And I'm gonna say, I think I talk about every experience with everybody.
Right.
So people, they got to give me some grace because every experience,
right.
And they know how much I love Indian food. So it's not like I'm not going to still come around.
Right,
I got, first of all, I'm Muslim. So it's a million Indian Muslims. So you got to go. Hey, man, do you understand? I'm going to sit there and be tight. I don't have no problem when I'm eating. When y'all making the food, I'm like, is that a samosa? I'm so like, Ali, you in the space. I'm like, hey, put some more of that on there.
Now you're Indian too, all up in that.
Now I'm so Indian. I be so Indian sometimes. Then I'm West Indian.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you Caribbean.
Caribbean, yep.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You know,
nice.
I'm going to say something about Jamaican people. Yeah. I'm saying everything don't come with boom behind it. It doesn't. Yeah, you know, and I'm going to say something about my people all the time.
Got it.
Because, you know, I just talk about people because that's who I'm around, and I love people, so I'm going to say something.
I love it. I did morning show for a long time, and they always said it's always funny until it hits home, right? Like you can make fun of every race, but once it hits home, cancel.
Do you understand that people don't laugh at other people if you can't laugh at yourself?
Right.
And that's the golden rule with me. Don't get tight at my show because I said something about. I've went through. Let me tell you, all the times I've been banned or blackballed, it's because I've said something in an interview.
Right.
And I'm like, the people ask me, how did Ali, don't get mad about that. How can I, when I said something about my mother in an interview?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she got mad. He's gonna call me and tell me, hey, I'm finna come by your house. I'm like, I ain't tell you to come over here. He said, I want to talk to you about your bull crap interview. I'm like, what happened?
Right.
And she listened to it, and I understood. I said, the man asked me, is there anything that you don't want your parents talking to your children about? I'm like, yes. I don't want my mother talking to my daughters about teenage pregnancy. And my mother, she wanted to know why. I'm like, because I did the math. And she's like, what, man? I say, I did the math on you. I did the math on you. I'm exactly 20 years younger than my mother.
Okay.
My mother's 70, and I'm 50. Okay. And I mean, that means that she had me at 20.
Right.
And I said, that wouldn't. And then she was pregnant at 19,
yeah,
and she was probably having sex at 18. I said, that wouldn't be that bad if I didn't have a sister 2 years older than me.
And
my mother was like, yo,
18,
18, 17, 16. You
Yeah.
I called my dad. I'm like, yo, you was knocking my mom up at 16. I'm like, yeah, it was a different time. What time was different? What was the different time? But he's like 6 months older than my mother. So
Oh, man.
they was pregnant at like 16. They was tramping at 16. And she was mad. Oh, she was hot at me. I was like, yo, it's the math.
Right.
So if my mother, if I don't care about what my mother thought about it, it's hard for me to even stomach even listening to somebody else's grievance with me. I'm like, call my mother. See how mad she's been.
Right.
You know, I've said some things. My sister mad at me right now about this story I'm telling about her and my mom fight. I'm doing that tonight.
Nice. Okay.
I'm doing that tonight because I just thought about it. I'm doing it tonight for sure.
There you go.
And I don't care. I wish I did. I wish I did allow that type of space in my mind to think about. Oh, I offended somebody. You know how easy it is to offend somebody. That is so.
Right.
It's
Especially right now, I feel like it's even worse.
It's so. I didn't grow up in that era where I was offended. You know, I'm not offended. I grew up. You know, people talk about you on the bus, talk about you at school.
Yep.
My eyes. I just grew into these eyes. I remember they used to call me binoculars, right? And
That's how I feel about my ears.
I
Man.
just grew into these eyes. Like I'm 50. I just got it. I've been called. They've been telling me my eyes was big since I was little. But then I thought about it. I'm like, maybe I'm just a nicer person than most people because I would never tell somebody their eyes were small.
Right.
Because everybody in my family has the same size eyes. This is the only size I've ever seen, right? So when I would see people with smaller eyes, I'd be like, oh, they sick. But I would never say nothing.
Right.
I was like, hey, why they eyes so small? They sick. They went, you know.
Oh, man. I love it. He's at Schubert tonight.
I'm like, you must be, because the only time my eyes is that size is when I'm sick. I'm like, oh, I got the flu in my eyes.
I love it. All right, cool. Well, you're at Schubert tonight, but check this out real quick, man. I know you went through a lot. Obviously, you had to make things happen when you were a younger kid.
Yes.
What was it? If you don't know, he was in jail for 6 years, 7 years?
6 years.
6
Don't
years.
try to give me no extra year.
But,
7? No.
But you
6.
you were hustling since you were 14, got caught up at 19.
Yeah.
You were pretty good at it as a kid.
I was pretty. I'm good at math. Math and chemistry are a strong suit.
All right, so talk about that first shot you got. Who gave you that first shot when you got out, and like what made you get on the stage? Were you practicing while you were locked up, or what
First shot. I must say, clothing store, Reginald Ballard, he gave me a job. So that was the first start of the whole stand-up thing because inside I was like a real sarcastic, jovial person.
selling clothing?
No, when I was incarcerated. This is how telling jokes started.
Got it.
When you inside, things are happening, right?
Yeah, yep.
And I would always be like, hey, y'all about to fight? Who's willing to lose this fight twice? They're like, what? Okay, let me explain. So y'all gonna fight, somebody's gonna win, and then the COs are gonna come in and beat up both of y'all. So who is willing to lose this fight twice? I just want to know. I just want to know. Ali, that don't make no. I'm like, it does. It make perfect. I see it all the time.
Right.
So I would just my observation of things was just like that when I was inside. So when I got out, I was like, yo, man, I need clothes and I need a place to start performing. So I went to the mall to try to get a job. And I went to this store called Most. This dude named Reggie was the manager. I walked in. I was like, hey, man, are y'all hiring? He's like, no. That was like Tuesday. Then I came back, and I'm in the mall. It's a lot of stores. So I'm going to all the stores. And I stop back in. Hey, man, are y'all hiring? That's Wednesday. He's like, yo, man, I told you we're not hiring. So I'm in the mall again, and it's Saturday, and the store is busy. And when I walked in and I saw him, he just turned to me and said, hey, I need some mock necks. I guess because my face was familiar and it was really busy. I didn't know what a mock neck was. I had no idea what a mock neck was. So I just went to the back and I came in the room. I said, hey, he needs some mock necks. I didn't even know his name. And then I came, they gave me a stack of mock necks. They was black.
Yep.
I came, gave them to him, and then I was there the whole day. I was just folding clothes and helping people, and I was just trying to stay out the way. Like, you would come and like, hey, what's your number? I'm like, I ain't got no number. Just tell them. No.
Yeah, yeah, for the commission, right?
So I'm there, right? Saturday, the store is closed, and Reggie is doing his wrap-up speech. Hey, man, we had a good day today. My man right here was on it. And he looked, he's like, hey, man, you don't work here? I was like, hey, man, I've been here all day, bro.
Yep. Nice.
He hired me on a Sunday.
Wow.
I was a top salesperson there for 2 years.
Okay.
I was working there, and I was working at Sunglass Hut, which was a kiosk right across. See, so I'm selling men's clothing, and then I'm selling glasses.
Yep.
So now I sell you a suit, and then you done bought this suit, you still in the mall, and then you'll see that I'm at the Sunglass Hut, and I walk by, I'm like, yo, man, you know you need some shades to go with that suit. I'll talk about people's eyes. I'm like, hey, man, you need something to cover up that eye. And I was just, man, I was just a crazy man in that mall, and I would be there all the time. So I quit my job at the mall, both of them, in October of 1999.
Okay.
So just think, I got out October 21st of 1997.
Okay.
Get the job. I started doing stand-up in 1997, December the 12th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got booed. And I got booed because I had on a suit. It was a college night, and it was like Apollo night, and they booed me because I had on a suit. I didn't even say nothing.
Right.
I said, hey, how y'all doing? They were like, who the old man in the suit?
Oh,
Boo!
oh,
I was like,
man.
it was crazy. So, so then I went back with T-shirt and jeans on, and in February, I became the host of that club.
Wow.
In 98. So that's months later. 1999, I get a shot to be on Comic View in 1999. So within about 18 months, I was already on TV.
Wow.
So the first time I was ever on TV, we recorded in 1999. It aired in 2000. I was on Comic View 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003.
Yep.
2007, end of 2007, we record Def Jam. So it comes on in 2008. I'm the season finale on Def Jam in 2008. Then from there, I'm on Comedy Central, I'm on Bounce, I'm on Showtime, I'm on HBO. And it all started with that job in the mall.
Awesome. Nice, man. I'm glad you bounced out of that, man. I know it's tough. It's not easy, man, but
Man, it's easy when you diligent, when that's what you think. Man, I wasn't going back to prison. I didn't care what I had to do.
Right.
And before that, I cleaned houses, right? And let me tell you why I only cleaned houses for 6 months. My aunt runs a cleaning service, and the president of Frost Bank, we're cleaning his house, and I'm scrubbing the toilet, and the bristle brush, the water popped up in my face, and I was done. Yeah. I sprayed Clorox bleach spray all in my face. I'm like, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on cleaning toilets.
Oh, man, I love it, man. He's got a show tonight, 100th City Tour going down.
Yes.
I know, real quick question. Go for it. How do you prepare for your shows?
I take a nap at 3 o'clock. That's the truth. Every day, nap at 3 o'clock. I wish that wasn't the truth. Nap at 3 o'clock every day.
All right. Besides him being married, what was the second question you had for him?
I have a different question.
Yes.
Is it your first time in Boston?
No.
No.
I performed at the Wilburg maybe 3 or 4 times with other people. I've come here with DL. I've come here with Bill Bellamy. I've been at Laugh Boston a couple of times. Laugh Boston. I didn't think I was gonna come back to Boston because Boston was really the most racist city I think I've ever been in. That's dead serious. I was at Laugh Boston, and I remember Sam J called me. Don't say that about Boston. I'm just telling the truth. I'm in Boston, and I guess this dude didn't know I was black. No, I'm dead. So I guess he didn't know I was black. He was like, oh, he must be Indian or something. Cool, I get it. I walk out, because it's 2 white guys performing in front of me. I walked out, and the man literally did this. I've never even experienced this before in my whole entire career. The man said, what? He's black, and turned his back. The manager left Boston to tell anybody the story. So I said, hey, my man, listen. I still kept going with the show, and then he started talking to people in the front. I'm saying, my man, listen. If you don't want to enjoy the show, we cool with that. I'm not tripping on what your the situation is. But what you're not gonna do is disrupt other people from enjoying the show. And then he went on and went on. I'm not that type of person. So what happened after that is what happened with me, because I don't need no security. I don't need none of that. I'm gonna handle most things myself, and I just wasn't for it. And I know he didn't want to get choked out like that, but that's what happened. From because I don't. One thing is, I don't play with people because I'm not that type of person. And I try to explain to people, you don't really know how people are until you put them in that position. I'm really jovial, and I've helped too many people. I have too many different types of friends, and involved in too many different cultures. If you're gonna be disrespectful, I can guarantee, and this is on my life, on my children's life, I'm going to handle it. And I tell everybody, my security, tell people, the security is not for me. It's to stop whatever I'm going to do once I feel disrespected. Because if I feel disrespected, it's a whole different ball game with me. I'm talking about the ball game is so different, and in my mind, this is the truth. You don't have enough people. You don't have enough people with you. My grandmother, I've only ran from a fight one time because I didn't know how to navigate. It was too many people. It was like 4 or 5 people trying to jump on me over a basketball game. I ran in the house, and my sister said, "What happened?" I said, "Some dudes I trying to jump on me." And my sister said, "How many?" I said, "It's a bunch of people trying to jump on me." She's like, "Well, you got to go back out there." I said, "It's a bunch of people." And she's like, "Okay." She called my grandmother. My grandmother said, "What's going on?" I said, "It's a bunch of people trying to talk to trying to jump on me." She said, "How many people?" Like 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like a lot of people. She said, then why you in the house?" I said, "Because it's a lot. Are y'all not listening to what I'm saying? It's a lot of people." She said, "But they scared." I said, "What?" He said, "They scared. That's why they got all them people." "How many people you got?" I said, "Just me." He said, "Then go back out there and show them why they shouldn't." And my sister came out with me. She said, "I'm not going to let nobody get behind you." And I went out there, and my grandmother was right. They were scared. Because once I started punching people, it was a problem. And that's because you was bothering me. I'm that's the thing about me. I'm 50 years old. I'm 5'7". I've never started a fight in my whole entire life. I finished a lot of them. I've never started one. And I tell people, you got to look at the signs on the person first before you. Man, I keep this ring on my hand so you can't notice that I don't have no knuckles on this side. Yeah, because my whole hand is slumped down on this side. And this is from a fight, me against 4 people, and that's how I lost my arm. In 2011, I was going to win Last Comic Standing. I'm in a club, and this guy decided that he was going to spit on me. And it went from, it was crazy. He must have been sitting there doing this. He was trying to gather spit up in his mouth, because it was a lot of spit. So when he spit, it hit me, and this is why I really got mad, because I tried to spit back, but it was during Ramadan. So I didn't have nothing.
Yes.
And I spit on myself, and I was like, "Oh, I spit on myself twice." And I went off. And them guys, when they ran, I'm the reason in Hollywood now that they run your background check first. Because they used to run it at the end of the show. They would run your background check so you get ready to go to TV. So on Last Comic Standing, you'll see my name in the credits, and they paid me. They had to pay me because I'd already done all the stuff. They ran my background check. I had 4 open assaults, all 4, because it was just, once I got with him, his friends tried to help him. And it was bad. If you go to Joey Diaz's 300 episode on this podcast, you will see that I have a cast on my own, because I dislocated my shoulder and I broke my hand.
Wow.
Going in on them. And it was so bad that they filed assault. I didn't even know they filed assault. My attorney called me. He said, "Hey, man, I'm down here at the courthouse. And, man, they finna pick you up." I said, "For what?" He said, "Man, you got assault." His name is Stan Broussard. I tell true stories, so everybody know. His name is Stan Broussard. Stan called me and was like, "Yo, man, they about to pick you up." Let me tell you the difference between having money and not. The first time I got arrested, it was nothing like this. So they said, "Hey, we're going to come get you. You're going to turn yourself in, you're gonna pay the bond, and they gonna let you go. I'm like, nah, it don't work like that. No way, Stan. I'm not doing it. So I showed up to the courthouse with the bondsman and my attorney, and sure and behold, I walked in, and I'm so skeptical. I'm like this. I walked in, they did all the procedure, and I walked right back out. And I say, Stan, this is different. He said, because you have money now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I lost that deal. That was in 2011, and I was very sad to lose that because I thought that was my shot, right, on NBC. So the next year, 2 years later, I get named Comedy Central's Comic to Watch because I'm on Comedy Central doing this thing with Comedy Central. Then 2019, I'm on NBC's Bring the Funny. The same people still working there, and they bring me in. They were like, Ali, try not to get in trouble doing it. I'm not even in trouble.
There it is. There it is. Go check him out at Schubert tonight, man. Ali Siddiq. We're live right here, Boston Dunkin Music Lounge. Make some noise for Ali, guys.
Those are all the questions? 2 questions, that's all the questions?
They got nervous. Everyone got a little nervous on you.
You look like you got a question. What's on your face? Go ahead. Yes. No questions?
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You talked about turning it on for your shows. What's that process? Is it like an on switch or is it a
Yeah. Yes, I do. I do have an on switch. I do. It's so crazy that as soon as I see the audience, I do this little weird thing backstage, and then I walk out because y'all there now. It's something about seeing the people out there that starts me. Other than that, I'm just really melancholy. And then they were like, hey, if you see me peek around the thing, and I'm like, they there. And then I get this whole nervous. It's crazy. I don't know why. I've been doing this a long time. This is what I look like behind stage. Oh, they out there. It's crazy. And I'll be talking to people like, man, they out there. And people like, yo, man, sit down. I'm like, man, it's crazy. But that's if people knew how nervous I was when I walked out, and it's a healthy respect for the audience. I have a very healthy respect. I don't think that I have it. I'm going out there to prove that I have it, like every single time. And it's crazy. Even in spaces where I know that it's gonna hit, but I still be like, I don't know. And I always pick one person in the audience that I think that's not having a good time. Their arms be folded, and I focus in on them. Like everybody else is having a good time, I'm just focusing on one person. Yeah. I'm telling all the stories to one person. They be like, why does he keep looking at me? Because you are the challenge for me. It's not the other people. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. That's a great question.
There it is, man. Everybody make some noise real quick. One more time for Ali Siddiq, you guys.